Right. Here we are. Saturday night makes a change.
Yeah, different.
Good evening, Col. Here we are, Interlaced Live, Part 4. What can we say? We don't know where we're going with this anymore. You know, we're here, we're there, we're everywhere. I'm just grateful that we could get together again. I'd like to introduce, of course, Col, the promoter for tonight, Interlaced Live. Where would we be tonight, Col?
Tonight, this time last year we would have been on the Thames.
So this was last year. So you done a boat party last year?
Last year we did. Last year we done a boat party. So we would have actually been today on that boat party if there weren't no lockdown.
Okay.
So, so that would be on the Thames.
We would have been all right on the boat though, wouldn't we?
Don't know.
We could have just cruised off.
So we don't even know.
We could have just cruised off sneakily round Greenwich and just had the party anyway. You know what I mean? Yeah.
This is it.
So folks, we're here. Saturday night this time, not a Friday night. Interlaced Live, me Casa, you Casa parties. We've got two wonderful guest DJs tonight. First coming up, we've got, of course, Steve Harrington, a regular at Nomad. I've seen you there before, many a time. Have you played there before?
Yeah, I've had the good fortune to play there. It's been always a great night, great crowd, love it every time I play there.
Fantastic.
Thanks to Colin and the Princess, of course.
Oh yeah. Let's mention Princess. Hi Princess. Hi everyone now watching. I hope you're all tuning in.
Well, she's my twin from another mother. We share the same birthday.
Oh,
yeah,
amazing.
They do.
Amazing. So I bet that's a good party.
Oh.
As always.
This is
so
it.
Cole. The boat party tonight.
Yeah.
I'm afraid it's not on, but we're trying to obviously interact with everybody, get them all involved again, let them know you're here, keep the vibe going. Yeah. So if anyone doesn't know, this is the fourth in the series. We've had Booker T,
Marcia Carr,
and Paul
de Gallery.
Yeah, Paul de Gallery. That was an amazing night as well. And like I said, tonight we've got two great DJs going to guest a little bit later, do some sets up about 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
What we're going to do? Where are we going with this? What is happening? Have you heard any word? I mean, we seem to be abandoned by the government, the whole club industry, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's been left high and dry, I reckon.
Yeah.
And I think, like I said, because the news changes daily.
Yeah.
I can't control anything externally.
No.
You know, so I've spoken to the club.
Yeah.
They're still closed at the moment. Don't know what's going to be happening with them. So I said, let's do this.
But they're still about though, because I heard a lot of clubs are going under.
Definitely.
I mean, not to bring the doom and gloom, but like I said, the industry, the whole scene needs real good support right now. I mean, like I said, I think it's the last one in the line of everything in hospitality and entertainment.
That's right.
The club scene just seems to be left meandering around.
They're not really. I don't think the government's bothered, and I think some councils sort of like happy that the clubs are closing, you know, for noise and all the rest of it. So they're not even saying, well, you know, let's keep the clubs going.
It's too big a culture, isn't it?
I know.
And like I said, in other countries, especially on the continent, I don't know if you know this, guys, you know, it's the club scene so highly respected. It was one of the first things to get supported, whether it was through their arts councils or some forms of grants. Whereas
So
here, it's just totally different. But we're going to change the subject because that shit. You know what I mean? We're here for the music. We're here for Interlaced, 100%.
Yes,
like I said, first DJ coming up tonight will be Steve. So we're going to just find out a little bit about the personality behind the music. So give us a bit of your background.
Sure. Well, I've been sort of interested in vinyl since I was probably about 6 or 7 years old. My eldest brother, God rest his soul, Bernard, anyone remember music centres?
Yeah.
So you got the vinyl turntable and the tape deck on the other side. My brother bought one and I thought it was the best thing ever, but he would never let me put a record on. Obviously, he'd be worried about me messing up, breaking the needle and that sort of thing. But when he was out, I'd sneakily put some records on.
Nice. What age was you about then?
That was probably about when I was about sort of 9 or 10.
Yeah, sure. So the bug got you early then?
Yeah, most definitely. But so I was just fascinated by it really. And sort of fast forward a few years, got interested in buying tunes because I just loved it really. I mean, the first tune I ever bought is a bit of a guilty pleasure, but it's Ian Jury and the Blockheads, Hit Me With the Rhythm Stick, 75p.
Wow. Not from Woolworths.
No, not from Woolworths, no.
HMV?
No. It's an independent record shop on Fulham Road because I grew up in West London. So,
there you go. Yeah.
I can't remember the exact name of it now. If anyone does remember, maybe they can let us know. But that was that really, and then just started buying sort of little 7-inch records, and then Yeah, my youth club, which was across the road from us, happened to have a pair of twin turntables on it, just on a console.
Yeah.
Very basic. I think it's one of those Citronic ones, really sort of quite crap, really. But yeah, they were like saying, well, look, we're going to put a disco on. Has anyone got any records? I'm like, yeah, I've got some records. You know? So that was it, really. I sort of got the bug from there.
What sort of music did you play?
It was most definitely the more sort of like soul and funk at the time. Right. By now, this was like the sort of early to mid 80s. So I was like 14, 15. And so it was all like big tunes like Love Comes Down, Funk Master, all that sort of stuff.
I bet you got into level 42, didn't you?
Oh yeah, level
42. That whole jazz funk scene.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so that,
sure.
you know, and again, like, you know, my peers were all sort of into that as well. Like all my mates at the time were all into it. A little bit of ska, a bit of special.
Yeah, sure.
And the jam, I love the jam as well.
Yeah.
Big group for me. But yeah, I was definitely leaning more towards, you know, sort of black music, soul, funk, that's type of disco, and you know, just carried on with that really. That's how I started.
So what caused the sort of like transition, or what got your interest into house music?
My God, well, I suppose listening to the pirate stations, I guess.
Yeah.
Started playing LWR, that sort of thing, and the old Kiss. So yeah, and also I suppose my first ever trip to the Camden Palace. On a Friday night.
Yeah.
That was a complete game changer. You know, sort of there seemed to be like 1 week I was going down the local Palais, Hammersmith Palais, all suited and booted, and then the next Friday, for some reason, I'm there in baggy jogging pants and like baseball boots and a t-shirt, and it was so liberating and it was amazing. It was just one of the most fantastic experiences I could think of. You know what I mean? It's brilliant.
Yeah. And how did you grow as a DJ then? Where was you starting to expand yourself? Did you get on a radio station? Did you get some gigs?
I kind of got some. Well, on first sort of big break, I guess. So I got a spot out in Corfu in Cavos.
Oh, nice.
In 1991.
Well, like a summer season thing?
Yeah, summer season. Yeah, and I was like doing like there's like all the rave music at the time, which was the Italian house and that sort of thing. But you know, I was always more interested in the more soulful side of it. And was always trying to play that sort of stuff, but yeah. You know, I had a few good nights there, and then,
I bet.
No, it was really good.
What year was this?
91.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, most definitely. So yeah, from there I sort of met people from sort of different parts of the country, and I got bookings in like Manchester and Birmingham and other places like that as well. So
and getting to play your way, or was you still finding your way?
No, I was getting to play my way, I guess, you know, sort of definitely trying to keep it more on a soulful side. And then 94, 95, I decided to give up work and go travelling. So I went to Australia.
Wow.
And Jane, my twin sister, was already out there. Hi, Jane.
Hi, Jane.
We all remember the night that I turned up in a gorilla suit to surprise her anyway for our birthday. So well, that's another story.
Nice.
But yeah, so I bought a couple of boxes of records over with me, had them shipped over, and managed to get some gigs, and just sort of got more of a name from there as well. So
excellent,
I did quite well in Sydney. I was in Sydney.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
Yeah.
How long was you in Australia for?
I was in Sydney for 1.5 years, and then travelled round for another 6 months, and then come back through Southeast Asia. So I was away in total for almost 2 years.
Right. Okay. So when you've come back to London now, has things changed for you, or?
Well, when I got back from travelling.
Yeah. When you got back from travelling.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, because the thing is, you're well, not so much nowadays, I guess, but then it was harder to try and keep up with the music when you're like thousands of miles away. So I was quite reliant on mates sending records over to me or sending shows that they taped, you know, and so I could sort of keep up with what was going on. Okay. But then trying to get hold of the tunes was a bit more difficult. But yeah, so when I got back, I kind of felt that there was a lot of tunes that I'd missed out on. But and it took me a while to sort of get back into it again. But yeah, you know, I just managed to get onto a radio station, my first foray into radio, a station that was predominantly a jungle station called UK Rumble. But myself and the lovely Miss Marsha Carr were DJing. That's how I met her, in fact. Wow. Okay. That was back in '98. And luckily enough for me, she was doing the show before me on a Saturday afternoon. So I learnt a lot from her. You know, she's the consummate broadcaster, knows her stuff inside out from way back in the day.
Very knowledgeable with the music.
Oh, absolutely, and you know, taught me a load about music as well. And we used to do some like little sound clashes because our shows backed onto each other. Around about Carnival time, August time, we'd do like merge our shows together and do what we call a Carnival sound clash, and had a lot of fun there. It was brilliant.
Nice. And you're very sort of, I mean, you've got a very long stint now on House FM. How long have you been on House FM?
Yeah, we were just doing the sums just now earlier, weren't we? 14 years on House FM, so I'm still waiting for me gold watch. But,
but it's a stalwart of the station now. I mean, I think sometimes it doesn't get enough praise, old House FM.
Yeah.
Because it has, you know, I mean, how long has it been going on?
I think it's been going for probably almost 20 years.
Yeah, it's got to be 20 years.
I think so.
I think it's coming up for its 20th anniversary. So
So big up House FM.
Yeah, big up House FM.
So you still got a show on there. Let's
Still
bring it
got
right
a
to the
show,
present. Where are you at now?
Well, I do my show every Sunday called the Soulganic Sunday Session, 8 till 10 p.m. on House FM. And it's been going really well. I mean, I've got a nice, decent, regular following from very much, different parts of the world. I get quite a few listeners from America. Big up all my listeners everywhere. It's a pleasure to do it for you guys, and I hope you feel the love that we try and put towards it.
So can I ask a question? Where's this connection? Why would you? Because I like people to get an understanding of how a promoter works. Yeah. Why would you book Steve?
Always this.
Oh yeah, you always say that. It's a good.
He's pointing to his ear for those who can't,
Yeah, my ear. I listen to House FM. I listen to quite a few.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And I heard Steve, and I think it was his eclectic sort of vibe. I didn't know what he was going to play next sometimes, and then some of the times you do know he follows that kind of that path. It was amazing. Yeah. So I can't even remember how I got his number. I got his number maybe on the radio from the radio station or whatever. And I said, Steve, I would love you to play at Mika. And I think it was one of those ones who, again, very underrated. Like he plays very decent music. And doesn't get enough praise in my book. That's what I feel.
You're very kind. Checks in the post, mate.
Definitely.
So what's in the future? I mean, bar tonight's set. But
After tonight, because obviously the current situation, playing out is not happening at the moment. We had sort of gigs lined up. There was a couple of things in the pipeline, obviously not happening. But look, it's very hard to tell. But all I can do is just keep up with the music, keep doing my show. I'm very sort of hands-on in trying to, bring new music to people every week, and I spend quite a lot of time trying to get source out new music and things that may be just a little bit different, not straight the normal 4 to the floor, although I do love it, absolutely love house music. Essentially I'm a soul boy, and I hope that comes through. Soul music was my first love, most definitely, and as well as playing house, I play some soul sets on the odd occasion, and I thoroughly enjoy those as well. Nice. I always dig in the crates, that sort of thing. As the future goes, I mean, who knows, but I'm just going to try and keep giving the good groove to you, bringing the soul to you.
Definitely does.
And that's all we can do.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will catch him up a little bit later. Steve Harrington. One question
I've got. You've got 2 types of mixes that you generally put out. One's got a date and one's got an extremely long name. I can never remember what is it?
Early Doors to the Late Night House Lounge.
Right.
All one word, no gaps.
No gaps in it, yeah?
Okay.
But that mix, I love that more than the other one for some reason. Yeah. But where did you get the name from?
It was just a combination of things, because when I first started doing it, I knew that when I was doing my mixes, I was doing what I would call main room mixes, proper 4 to the floor beats. And they're the sort of ones that are just called, say, July 2019 or whatever, that's that. But I found that I was liking the more deeper sound. And for me, that was like maybe the kind of stuff you might play early or very, very late.
Yeah, got you.
So, a football analogy, early doors. And you use that early doors and like more sort of like house lounge type stuff, for the later stuff. That's how the name come across. I thought, how could I join it together? Yeah. So that was it.
Makes really. Sense. Well, if you haven't heard it, check Steve out on Mixcloud.
Say it again. Which one's that one?
He'll have to tell you the name because I can never say it.
One more time.
They're called Early Doors to the Late Night House Lounge, and I'm on volume 89.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Steve Harrington. He'll be playing the first set. He'll be back up in about 15 minutes. Thanks again,
guys,
mate. Thank you. So do remember, it's Saturday night. We would be on a boat down the Thames, having a really good time. Cole will be hosting with the lovely Princess and
that's right.
all the usual crew. We'd be having a fantastic time. Well, it would just be getting going, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
We'd all be coming off the pier.
looking for the after party, see what's going on.
Yeah. Amazing.
But the person who I do the boat parties with is Jerry. Yeah. I met Jerry on a boat. At another party. And when he comes on, I'll tell you the rest of the story.
Okay, so let's go. Guest number 2. Please, everybody, welcome to Interlaced Live, Saturday night, the boat party. Jerry Frempong. He's going to be the second DJ up tonight. We're just going to have a quick chat, get to know the personality behind the tunes.
Good evening.
Sir. Good evening. Lovely to meet you. We've never met before.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Much appreciate for being here. Thank you, Colin.
You're more than welcome, bro.
So I'm going to let you two chat because let's hear this boat. We met on a boat. Where was that?
Dude, I can't even. Was it?
So it was Ket Shah.
That was it.
Big shout out to Ket Shah. It was his 50th birthday party, and we just got chatting. We just got like a house on fire. We were just vibing. We were just talking.
Fantastic. The old interlaced vibe.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's right.
Yeah. And I was just telling Col about myself, how I threw boat parties over the years. I've been doing it since 2005, and I think a little spark just went off in Colin's head. It was just like, we need to talk.
Yeah.
And then that was it, basically.
It was.
I think we just connected. In fact, I remember Katie, my wife, was saying, you need to connect with Col. He seems like a really cool guy. He loves his music.
Lovely.
And it was fate, basically.
Definitely,
and
man.
we hit it off, and we did our first joint boat party in 2016.
Wow.
And that was absolutely incredible.
Amazing,
it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah. And it's a pleasure to work. Like they say, left hand don't know what right hand's doing.
Sure.
Yeah. It's like that when I work with
Yeah.
Jerry. Very much so. Like when we're working together, as a promoter, you've got loads of things to do.
Yeah.
DJs, sound, this, that, the other. And if I'll be given a task to do and I can't remember or whatever, Jerry goes, have you da-da-da-da-da? And he's checking on me and I'm checking on him.
Yeah.
But it works so sick. No stress.
No, it was easy.
No stress, no nothing.
Exactly.
Effortless.
That's the way we like.
And that's how it should be, really.
Amazing. Right. Enough about him. Let's find out a little bit about you. Jerry Frempong, tell us about yourself.
Thank you. Well, I've been DJing for over 20 years now.
Wow.
I absolutely love...
Sure you ain't 25? Maybe DJs.
You're too kind. You're too kind.
That's how I work.
For me, music is just my staple. I absolutely love all sorts of music. Dance music. Jazz, soul, funk. Basically, music has run in our family for a long period of time. My dad, God rest his soul, Anthony Frempong, he was a record producer in the 80s. Right, okay. He came from Ghana, West Africa. He actually pioneered the sound High Life, which is from Ghana, which is basically a mesh of sort of Ghanaian traditional music and sort of Western sort of sound.
Incredible.
Yeah, so he was basically promoting parties when I was a kid. Yeah. So he was putting on events for his community, and he was smashing it. He was you. He was like you, man.
But again, an inspiration.
Yeah, absolutely, fantastic. Absolute inspiration.
What's your dad's name?
Anthony Frempong.
Anthony Frempong.
Yeah.
Big up Anthony.
He passed away not so long ago.
Oh, God bless him.
Yeah, bless his soul. And but he left an amazing legacy.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Well, he's left the indentation on you. You've kind of carried it on. So
yeah.
It's
funny.
It's
funny because he had a record label called Asona Records, which was championing this high life sound, and myself and Pete BBE from BBE Records were looking to hopefully get those repressed and let that legacy continue.
That would be wonderful.
So it's amazing. It's all come full circle. Really. So I've been DJing for over 20 years.
No, but you can't just go through 20 years.
I know. But for me,
for the beginning.
You know what? The beginning for me was when I was listening to like Top of the Pops or something, and I'll have the radio on, and I would hear the Top of the Pops and the radio mixed together, and I'm like, that sounds cool. And I had no concept of what DJing was.
Yeah, sure.
So like sometimes I would get the tape player, play that at the same time with another track, and at same time as Top of the Pops, and try and get them to mix. Obviously, no pitch control, but just for the fun of it, just for a laugh. Yeah. And then I turned 17, went to college, and then my friend guy called Dean Butcher. He was like, "Oh, come round to my house. We'll just chill out on a Wednesday, like when it was like sports day or something like that." Went round to his house, and he had some decks.
Are you saying you was bunking off?
No, it was optional. It was optional. College was optional.
All right, cool.
But anyway, went to his house, and he had some decks in the mix. I was like, "What's this?" He's like, "Oh, these are turntables." And I was like, "What do you do?" So we were just playing records and stuff. I had no concept of DJing at this time, but I kid you not, for me it came quite naturally.
Sure.
Wow.
It does.
Yeah. And
no, it really does.
Yeah, and I remember the second week was at his house. I got my first mix and I was like, "Oh, that was amazing!" And then I was hooked. That was it. And for me, it was just a passion of music. And at that time, the sound was more kind of like jungle, drum and bass, old school house. You know, the old school proper house and garage.
Yeah.
You know,
So your development came how? Did you start sourcing music?
Yeah, just sourcing music, listening to great pirate radio stations like Dream FM back then.
Right.
You know, I think it's Ice FM, all the sort of the underground house and garage radio stations.
Yep.
Kiss as well. Kiss was absolutely pivotal for my sort of development in terms of the sound as well. Big DJs like EZ, Danny Rampling, all those sorts of guys. You know, it was amazing. It was amazing, yeah. But in terms of actual progressing me in DJing, that didn't happen until university.
Okay.
Yeah, so I went to Leeds University, just did a course up there, just thought I wanted to get out of London and just, you know, seek past.
See a bit of life.
Yeah, just explore. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And anyway, I bumped into a good friend from back then who I know now, Ian Morby. Big shout to Ian. So we started our label together. And anyway, I bumped into Ian in our halls of residence, and he had a pair of decks. I was like, "Mate, you're my best friend." Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Brilliant connection.
So we started putting on halls residence parties for
As
all
you
of
do.
Exactly, and it just blew from there.
Brilliant.
And then we started promoting parties in and around the city of Leeds. Connecting with people like Ben Brophy, who you know. Ben Brophy used to run a record shop in Leeds called Play Music, which was the heartbeat of Leeds for the underground sound, which was just everyone was there on a Friday, spunking their money, buying the latest.
What year are we talking about?
This is kind of 98, from 98 to 2001.
Okay, because they had a good vibe going on in Leeds at some point. I've guest DJ'd up there all through the 90s. I played at Hard Times and a few other places. And they had this real soulful vibe going on. It was I really appreciated it as well. Do you know what I mean?
Deep as well.
For sure. Yeah,
absolutely. Leeds was really pivotal for me. One of the best clubs was Back to Basics.
Back to Basics,
so,
incredible.
Run by Dave Beer, infamous promoter. Yeah. And you'd hear the likes of, you know, Danny Rampling, all the old school, you know, Roger
Superstar
Sanchez,
DJ type thing.
When the superstar DJs were becoming superstars. When you could go to a club of 500 people and it was rocking. Do you know what I mean? Whereas now it's normally the festival kind of thing. You know, whereas I wish it could go back to that sort of vibe. And that for me, that was it. Because I used to play kind of two-step garage and stuff, but when I went Back to Basics and I heard some of the sets from there, I was like, I'm all house now. That is it. I am done.
Converted.
Yeah.
Welcome to the church.
Exactly. Amen.
Take my soul.
So it's like that though.
You do the Leeds thing.
You did the Leeds thing, and then actually I decided to go travelling. It's a little bit like Steve.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, I went travelling, and I was 23, 24 at the time, and still young. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to explore the world. My dad was like, you know what, just go and enjoy. Go and enjoy yourself before you settle down. So I went around the world with some best friends. Went to America, went to Fiji, Cook Islands, went to New Zealand, Australia. And it was then actually, it was kind of like, you know, when you go and do those things, you're kind of trying to find yourself, trying to see what you're about. And I really wanted to pursue the DJing a bit more serious. And that's where our label, Preta Akute, Ready to Listen, was born. So going through those sorts of travels, I decided to start our label, Preta Akute.
Mention it again. Say
Preta Akute,
which is
Ready to Listen.
Ready to Listen.
So you have Preta Manger, Ready to Eat, Preta Porter, Ready to Wear. So I thought I wanted the label was quite classy, something that's a bit exquisite, you know, got some panache about it. And so Preta Akute started in 2005. And the funny thing was, when I got back from my travels, I said an innocent prayer actually. I said, God, I really want to take this DJing to a next level. How do I do that? And it was just an innocent prayer. I went to bed, and I kid you not, I had a dream of doing a boat party. And I woke up the next morning.
Amazing.
I woke up the next morning and I called Ian. I said, Ian, we need to do a boat party this summer. And that's when we did it.
Get me a boat.
2005, we launched we did our Pretty boat parties, and then we've been doing them pretty much ever since, you know, since up until now.
Yeah.
And they've evolved now. Obviously meeting your good self, you know, when we talked, and then we just thought, you know what, our scene is it's a scene of people.
Yeah.
It's not individual, you know, labels or entities. We're a musical family.
Yeah, it's
community.
So, exactly.
Right.
We all share the same passion, the same love for music. Let's come together, and that's what we did.
Yeah,
and then, as you were saying, it was plain sailing. Excuse the pun. Do you know?
All aboard. Boop, boop.
My wife will be laughing right now. Shout out to Katie. Yeah.
Hi, Katie.
Yeah, definitely.
Hi, everyone that's watching. Don't forget, this is Interlaced Live. We're just having a little chat before we get into the sets. We've had Steve Harrington on, and right now we're talking to Jerry Frempong.
Yo.
Yeah, carry on, bro.
Yeah,
carry on.
so
it was effortless, you know. Like I would say that, you know, it just is. I've worked with many promoters doing what I do, you know, like bringing different people together.
Yeah.
And like I say, for Jerry, it's just effortless work. It's just
absolutely.
on point. It's on
Thank
point.
you, bro. Nice.
So tonight you're going to be DJing as well. You'll be doing the second part.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to that.
Thank you
Lovely
very much.
hearing your story.
Thank you.
We really do look forward to that. We're just going to have a little chat with everybody. Jerry Frempong, he'll be up second set.
Nice.
So we'll catch you about 10 o'clock.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're just going to have a little chat, me and Cole, while the guys get themselves set up, get a quick drink and stuff like that. So, Cole, part 4.
Yes.
I suppose we're going to do part 5. A lot of people have been saying, you know, they want to see more of you and talk more and stuff like that. So hopefully we really might just make this a regular thing, with or without the situation.
I think so. I think I've said it before, you know, that like since lockdown, I've really enjoyed doing this.
It's been really,
Yeah, you get a background of, you know, the DJs, you know, the music's been really, really good, you know, and I think this just gives us the opportunity to try out the live medium, you know, like the social medium.
Yeah, of course.
You know? So I think even when lockdown's done, or if ever done.
Is it lockdown now? What are we in? Semi-lockdown?
Look, I'm straight out of lockdown.
Look, everybody, this is amazing. Look at this. This is done by...
This was designed by Danny Fagan and my son Kieran. Okay, he runs a website which produces the t-shirts. Yeah, so it's if you want one, they're on sale now. Go to buylovelace.com. That's
Straight out of lockdown.
Buylovelace.com. So I'm out of lockdown, mate. I'm done with it.
Crazy.
Yeah, so I think people saying that they want more. I feel that we could do, you know, more.
Well, I think we, you know, like I said, we've chatted about it, everybody, and we've said, like, you know, it's been nice to be able to connect with everyone. We get the feedback. We get the chat rooms, the DJs like it, everyone seems to like it. Well, why not carry on with something like this? I mean, it might only be a small audience right now, but, you know, it always is a small audience before it gets big.
And it can grow.
Yeah.
And I think,
and you've got a terrific personality. There, that's why he's a rubbish host. Do you know what I mean? I hate his parties. You go there, he stands in the corner, he doesn't talk to no one.
Nobody knows me.
Listen, everybody, you've been listening to us chatting. We're going to try and get on with some music now. It's about that time. Yes. So thanks again, Cole. Really appreciate you coming down, man. Really appreciate doing this with you. It's Doing It TV, Interlaced Live. Me, Casa, you, Casa. Coming up first, please welcome Steve Harrington.